Phony. Phony. I'm totally weird. Gavin's hands. It's time for Gavin's hands.
The notion of agency, that we're not bystanders in the world. It's decisions, not conditions, that determine our fate and future. And that fundamental notion of agency, I think, is important more broadly. And I think that goes to some of the issues around, victimization. And I see a lot of that, respectively, on the right, increasingly, even with Trump often approaching things from that sort of.
One Gavin Newsom strolls in like California's discount James Bond slick suit, Hollywood grin, and enough hair gel to qualify as an environmental hazard. He moves like he owns the room, but Tyrus? He's the kind of guy who makes the room question its life choices. Built like a tank and armed with verbal artillery, Tyrus doesn't just talk, he detonates. What follows isn't politics. It's a roast so sharp Newsom might need stitches, buckle up. This isn't a debate, it's a demolition.
Tyrus?
What I saw.
Yeah.
What it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
The myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor
funny.
Down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just.
Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe because this one's pure gold. California sells itself as America's sun-drenched fantasy, endless beaches, perfect weather, and people who treat avocado toast like religion. But scratch that glossy postcard and you'll find something darker. It's less California dreamin' and more How to Ruin Paradise, the series.
Go back and watch the tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
Newsom delivers speeches like he's auditioning for president. The movie, the pauses are dramatic. The hand gestures rehearsed, and that smirk pure trust me. Peasants, yet while he performs the part of savior, his state plays the blooper reel. Homelessness soars, businesses bolt, and taxpayers wonder why they're paying Beverly Hills prices for Gotham City conditions.
Tyrus, did he leave out anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse.
And Tyrus steps into frame, and that's where things get fun. No scripts, no handlers, no mirror rehearsals. Just blunt force honesty. Where Newsom polishes his image, Tyrus roughs up the truth. One's all gloss, the other's grit. Picture it, Newsom bragging about progress while San Francisco looks like a zombie audition. Tyrus doesn't need a policy paper. He just points and says, this is what failure looks like under palm trees.
I'll be in the car.
Yes, I think you've done enough this evening. You can take the rest of the week off.
Thank you.
Charlie,
We've all been there, right?
Yes, we have. Yeah, it's noisy in this
Sorry,
city.
every time I look, I just see him going. I'm sorry.
You know, another option it could be, because he's doing the whole rebrand with the podcast and he's trying to.
Once upon a time, California was the crown jewel Silicon Valley, Hollywood, Napa Valley. Now it's the world's most glamorous escape room. Under Newsom, companies are sprinting to Texas and Florida like they just saw rent prices. Taxes skyrocket, jobs vanish, and paradise starts to feel like punishment. And then came the pandemic, Newsom ordering everyone to stay home and sacrifice. While he dined like Gatsby under chandeliers, Californians ate cold leftovers. Newsom sipped Cabernet. The optics.
Or
Yeah.
he's negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just stick with that.
Yeah.
More likely.
Yeah.
Maybe you can fix California while you stop by. 2 shows, you should be able to do that.
Hey, you know what? Real funny. So the other night, I got like 3 weeks ago. Time flies when you work. I get a text at 2:00 in the morning from the president who says, "Hey, bro, I just filled California up with water. Governor's pissed and sent pictures. LOL post." Who doesn't love this president?
That dinner became his defining moment. Rules for everyone else, perks for the elite. Tyrus didn't let it slide, he torched it. While Californians nuked frozen pizza and sweatpants, Newsom was twirling truffle pasta, preaching unity. It was hypocrisy so obvious it didn't need exaggeration, but Tyrus gave it flair anyway. He's not a politician, just a guy with common sense and zero patience for nonsense. When he says California feels more like a penalty than a privilege, people don't argue, they nod.
Back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm doing there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Ew.
And then, look, he's blinking. And then eventually, the camera guy realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you. You do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is. See? They couldn't hold it back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not. Nope.
Aftermath? Chef's kiss. Regular folks finally heard someone say what they've been shouting into the void. Newsom's defenders tried spinning it. Tyrus is just an entertainer. Sure, but when a wrestler makes more sense than your governor, maybe it's time to check the scoreboard. Tyrus doesn't need charts or jargon. He just points at the chaos and says, this isn't working. And that lands harder than any polished press release.
Well, speaking of full of I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing, is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? Follow-up question, aren't you governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump. He'll talk about something as it's...
Tyrus slices through the marketing hype like a cleaver through avocado toast. He's not fooled by drone shots of beaches and skylines. He talks about what the camera avoids: tent cities under overpasses, shops boarded up, families one rent check away from living in their cars. If dysfunction were an Olympic sport, California would bring home the gold. And Newsom, he'd host the after party.
He's playing with us. Meet me at my house. You get mine. I get yours. It'll work out.
Paul, are they capable of soul searching? It feels like the party itself has no soul.
Yeah, I know, they have no soul. You know, it's a really interesting statement. If you just kind of, you can break it in two. He spends the whole first part of that saying, we lost because this. Essentially what he says is, folks, we were on the wrong side of every issue last.
That infamous Michelin-star dinner wasn't just a scandal, it was symbolism on a silver platter. While Californians canceled weddings and funerals, their governor was elbows deep in truffle pasta, laughing under dim lighting. Tyrus paints the scene so vividly you can smell the hypocrisy. Rules for thee, not for me, he says. And Californians nod because they paid the fines for breaking rules their governor ignored. The irony's so thick you could bottle it.
He's going to go up and say, listen, I'm going to sign an executive order to stop homelessness, and here's how we're going to do it. Bam, bam, bam. Done. The border. Done. 5 days later, 99% no one's crossed. They're standing at the border like, you go. No, that you go. Like, no one wants to.
And that's the brilliance of Tyrus. He doesn't just rant, he turns outrage into comedy therapy. The laughter makes the truth sting less, but it still lands. His punchlines hit harder than policy papers: rising crime, sky-high gas, homelessness out of control. California is not a utopia, it's a burnout in slow motion. And by turning the chaos into comedy, Tyrus holds up a mirror the spin doctors can't crack.
Gavin, I know him very well. He's incompetent. He's a nice guy, looks good. Hi, everybody. How you doing? He's got some strange hand action going. I don't know what the hell his problem is. It's a little weird, to be honest. There's a little something shaky going on there.
I came into that recall campaign still arguing that all politics is local. I still had a romantic notion of that. I intellectualized that a lot of our politics and the discourse was national. I didn't fully appreciate how nationalized our politics have become. In so many ways, that shape-shifted a lot of what we're doing and who I am today. But this last year, these last 6-7 months, this is something altogether different.
He reminds people of the basics. A state with endless resources can't even keep the lights on. During heat waves, the fifth largest economy sends families packing to Arizona just to afford groceries. That's why Tyrus connects. He's not talking at people, he's talking like them. He's the guy at the gas pump shaking his head at $7 a gallon, saying what everyone else is too tired to repeat. Californians don't just laugh, they feel seen.
Yeah, his hands are just weird though, Tyrus. They're always doing funky things.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with the California budget cuts and stuff, since they didn't have a hearing impaired transitioner anymore. I'm not paying money for that. I'll do it myself.
That's why his takedowns hit harder than any stump speech. It's not a lecture, it's a wake-up call. No matter how many photo ops or slow-motion handshakes Newsom performs, people see the cracks. California still has beaches, stars, and sunshine, but the illusion's broken. The dream feels more like a sitcom with bad writing. Sunshine, sure, but so are the tent cities. Glamour, maybe if you crop out the boarded-up storefronts. Leadership isn't about posing, it's about fixing. And California's been running on vibes for too long.
So, you know.
A little bit of bubble.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you were the sign person for the TV going?
No, he reminds me there of, remember the guy who did the sign language at Mandela's funeral?
When Tyrus unloads, the mask slips off. The jokes make it fun, but the truth hits like a gut punch. If he can dismantle Newsom's Hollywood image with a few jabs, imagine what happens when others follow suit. Strip away the sparkle, and what's left? Empty shops, broken promises, and leaders addicted to branding over solutions. California still sparkles on Instagram, but only through a filter. Tyrus ripped it off, and what's underneath isn't cinematic, it's chaos. Once you've seen the unedited version, pretending it's paradise is impossible.
If I was in the White House, this is one of the first things I would do. Clean up your streets. Instead of sending our military men and women out to other places to make other countries safe, make our streets safe. How is this an argument? If you don't like it, what's not to like? Other than that you have to tip your hat to the orange devil. That's the problem. Then you know what? Find a way like make it your own. Like, no, you will not bring in 1,500 National Guards. We will only allow 1,200. And then call it a victory. Clean up your neighborhoods. Leave the politicians out. To go out on the waterfront at 6 o'clock in the morning. But notice he wasn't filming himself. Well, speaking of full of I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? Follow-up question, aren't you governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump. He'll talk about something as it's